Nintendo news, viewer questions, player spotlight, and our Nintendo Time Portal is all coming up. Stay tuned! Support this podcast by blasting that like button, sharing the stream, and subscribing right now. The Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast starts shortly. Visit our website at NintendoChitChat.com and catch up on everything Nintendo. gamers, get ready! The Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard, starts right now.
So you don't miss the fun. You're sitting on the edge of your seat, so anxious you're clenching your teeth when he's shooting with his fantasy team and paladins, the champions. You don't wanna miss this. Put 'em in your subscriptions. Rated E for Eddy Ray. Watch him play. Stream away. Rated E for everyone. Subscribe so you don't miss the fun.
Alright guys, welcome! Eddy Ray with you here and Tony Marquis kicking off our podcast, the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast, episode 31 already. This is for the week of August 12th through the 18th. It's a Friday night here, August 17th in the NCC Command Center. We've got dual streams going once again on YouTube and Facebook, so make sure you guys like and share, whether you're here or there. I'll be checking comments on both. We've got Ryan, Jessica, Jacob. I think I saw Jeff on Facebook. Good to see you guys. We've got Tyler, Dank, Golden, Fernando, Frank, Amber, and others. Also Stu, who's new to the channel, so welcome on YouTube. And Fernando. Good to see you guys. Again, make sure you like and share. Don't forget a Turtle Pop giveaway. The digital game code for that game is being given away next week on the podcast, August 24th. It may actually be a day before that on Thursday, just because I have to work that Friday night, and I think the 24th is Friday. So if you want to enter, go to our Facebook page. It is pinned to the top of our page. Turtle Pop gameplay video. Simply comment in that video below on Facebook. You'll be automatically entered into possibly win the game code. And that'll be our last game code for Turtle Pop. So big thanks to Turtle Pop and the devs for that. Alright guys, so we've got a bunch of news, some last minute things that were added to our news article here. A review to talk about, our time portal, your questions, player spotlight, so much more. So we'll be right back with a quick break in a moment. Be right back.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard. We'll be right back after the short break. Grab the audio version of the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or Player FM. You're listening to the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your host, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard.
Alright, a short little break there. Yeah, so this podcast is titled Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. We actually have a demo for that available right now in the Switch eShop. The game comes out this month, August 28th, so about 11 days away. And of course, this is the port, guys. Japan had this game for a while now, and thankfully it was localized, so it's coming to North America here again on August 28th. You can join online for up to 4 players. for co-op action, or of course using local wireless as well. So we'll probably be doing some online gameplay with you guys if you get this game. So let me know in the comments or on Discord. You can join our Discord by hitting up the invite link below in the description of the video. And I'm looking forward to that. But without further ado, we have our writer and editor, Samantha Lienhard, back on the podcast for episode 31. So everybody welcome her back to the podcast. Welcome, Samantha.
Thank you.
How's your week going for you so far?
Not bad. How's yours?
Not bad. I got a lot of work coming up this weekend, so looking forward to relaxing this evening with a nice podcast with you all. So we have some kind of things added here last minute, but let's kick things off with our Nintendo News Bites. And we have, of course, Octopath Traveler to talk about. And what's the latest with Octopath Traveler, Samantha?
Yes, well, this is actually a survey for people who have played Octopath Traveler. So Famitsu is a Japanese publication, but every now and then they will post a global survey. So in this case, they have a survey out. They're interested in feedback from people who have played Octopath Traveler, asking questions about which characters you like the best, things you liked or disliked about the game, things like that. So if you've played it and you're interested, we've got the link there on the site. I can't remember how long it's going to be open for, but I think it's for a bit yet.
Very cool. Yeah, so if you guys have the game and played it, definitely take part in that questionnaire. We have Frank in YouTube chat as well, and Jessica on Facebook likes my hat. This hat was a gift from Fluffy and Anita, who are our moderators. I'm not sure if they're here right now, but this is like a Legend of Zelda hat. It's pretty cool. You can see the emblems up here. So thanks for that. All right, so last minute things added to our Switch news article here. And this is regarding a company called Ghostlight. Are you familiar with these guys at all, Samantha?
I wouldn't have known the name, but when I read about them, they ported Mary Skelter to the PC, and I believe a couple other PlayStation games they ported to the PC. So that's what they've been doing. They've been porting games to the PC, but they announced that they are now going to be working on Switch games as well. So they'll be taking Japanese games and creating ports of them for the Switch. And they said that they've already started work on the first one, which is a JRPG, although they didn't specify which one it is. Hopefully it's something good.
Nice. And will these ports, are these all going to be localized right away, or how are they working on this? Do you know?
Well, the way, I mean, if we go by their past examples, it'll be games that were already localized for other platforms. Because that's like Mary Skelter was on the Vita, and so then it was localized on the Vita, and then maybe a year or so later, I can't remember how long it was, Ghostlight ported that to the PC. So I assume they'll be following a similar pattern.
Okay, that's great. Great news. So, JRPG fans, you get some more games coming your way for the Switch. So we got Anita in chat. Hello, Sagan as well. Good to see you guys. There's Golden too. All right, guys. So we're both on Facebook and YouTube here. I'll be checking comments throughout the day, or our podcast anyway. Not the whole day, because I'll have stuff to do, guys. But let's move along to some new games, ports, and localizations. And this is a new game called Gris, G-R-I-S. It's been announced for the Switch PC as well for December. And Gris is, what kind of game? Is it like a puzzle platforming type game?
It seems like it, yes. I think they officially described it as a narrative experience. I believe it's mainly going to be focused on sort of exploration. They mentioned there's going to be light puzzles, some platforming, but I think the story and atmosphere, I believe, are what they're focusing on.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the trailer of the game, do check it out. It's really stylized. It looks really pretty. It's a beautiful looking game. So taking a look at Gris, we do have the announcement linked for the video on our website, NintendoChitChat.com. So go click that and check out the announcement trailer for the game. That is Gris. All right, one for 2019 here is Protoform. And Protoform also is, this is a kind of puzzle game as well with stealth involved in a third-person perspective, which sounds pretty nice. What's anything more about this, Samantha?
Yes, well, this is by the developer of My Time at Portia, which I don't believe is out yet, is it?
I don't believe so.
I don't think it's out on the Switch yet, but apparently this is going to be what they're going to be working on next after that. So kind of a different sort of style for them.
Excellent. We got Simon in chat as well. Thanks for the hearts and likes on Facebook, everybody, as well. All right, so moving along here, we got some more announcements here. This is a pretty cute little name for a game. This is Hacky Zack. I always want to say Hacky Sack, but it's Hacky Zack, Z-A-C-K. And this is a little interesting title here. Hacky Zack, basically you are Zack, that's the character here, and you're juggling balls with different kinds of properties through platforming puzzles to the goal at the end of the stage. You got to help Zack fill his treasure-filled book of stickers to unlock more optional challenge levels. And this is where you race against a timer to destroy targets as quickly as possible. So that is Hacky Zack. We have a graphic here on the screen showing the logo and some of the characters in the game, so it seems pretty cute. So keep your eyes out for Hacky Zack. Kind of brings back memories of playing Hacky Sack back in high school. But go ahead, Samantha.
Yeah, the Switch version is coming with a co-op mode that wasn't in the original release.
Oh, nice. That should make things interesting. And so this is actually announced for August 23rd, so it's only about a week away, less than a week away, too. So
although when I was checking to see if it was a PC game or a mobile game, it was a PC game before, it said August 24th for the Switch. So either they changed that or I wrote the wrong number there. So
okay, no problem. So August, one of those days, guys. One of those days, about a week away. So it's not the 23rd, it's the 24th.
I think they might have changed it.
It could have been an error on their part, too, when they first announced it or something, or whatever. That's okay. All right, moving along, we have a game called Metallic Child, which looks really interesting here with this graphic and artwork. This has been announced for the Switch, PS4, PC, and mobile for 2019 early, so the first quarter probably. Tell us more about Metallic Child, Samantha.
So this is a roguelike action game. We certainly have been getting a lot
Quite
of
a few.
Roguelikes.
Yeah.
So if you like
Sure.
roguelikes, we've got another one on the way. And this one, it looks like, is from a one-person team. So that's impressive.
Wow. Yeah. So there's a protagonist, Rona, who attacks with her giant hammer. And this is how you get Metallic Child here. And giant metal fists. So I guess the hammer and fists make up the metallic properties. They can also shoot out as a rocket punch, which sounds pretty cool. So looking forward to Metallic Child on the Switch, PC, PS4, and mobile. So a lot of different platforms there for early 2019.
And I just checked. The eShop lists the previous game as August 23rd, so I'm leaving it like that for now.
For Hacky Zack, sure, yeah. We'll go by the eShop because you never know. We'll blame Nintendo if that's the case, if they're wrong on the eShop. All right, so next up is Gone Home, coming to the Switch on August 23rd. If you can, tell us more about Gone Home, Samantha.
Yes, well, this is one of games that many people would refer to as a walking simulator, although not quite as much as some of them are. You do get some things to interact with as you're exploring. So this game, I'm a little biased because I played it and thought it wasn't nearly as good as people hype it up to be.
Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know.
It is quite popular. It's a very short game, very sort of narrative focused as you look around the house and pick up clues about what happened.
So I see it says, yeah, Gone Home puts the player in the role of a young woman returning from overseas to her Royal Oregon family home, and basically finds her family absent and the house empty, leaving her to piece together recent events. So it sounds like an interesting story, but we'll keep your eyes out for Gone Home. You said it's pretty short, so don't expect to have a really long game here to play with regarding Gone Home. It was like, what, several hours long or a few hours long? Do you remember how long it was, Samantha?
Oh, let me see now, because I did play it. I feel like I played it in a single sitting.
Oh, wow. So probably a few hours, maybe.
Maybe 2 hours. Let me double check. I might have my time recorded.
Oh, there you
I try
go.
to keep track of.
That's cool. You're very
Okay,
detailed.
about 2 hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours, I think is about what it
Okay.
was.
Hopefully the price matches that kind of gameplay length. But that's Gone Home. All right, so now we have a pretty big announcement here, which was kind of, was it rumored or leaked as well before Nintendo actually announced this? I believe it was.
Well, first it was a kind of teased like ages ago because Blizzard tweeted something that had
that's right.
like someone flipping a light switch, and so people were like, "Oh, something's happening to the switch," or double the switch, and it came out and said, "No, it's not." And people didn't really believe them. But yes, then it did a leak. I can't remember which site it was, like posted the news a day before they were supposed to, or something like that. So the news leaked early, and then it was officially announced.
So we got Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. This includes the DLC for the Switch, and it goes for $59.99. And this also comes with special themed content as well from Zelda, right?
Yes, just a few bonus items exclusive to the Switch. There's going to be a Ganondorf armor, a Triforce portrait frame, a Kuko pet, and Echoes of the Mask cosmetic wings. Echoes of the Mask. I'm not entirely sure what that refers to.
Same here. But I haven't played Diablo since the original. The series is hot. It's a really popular franchise. It's great gameplay as well. And I think Diablo 3 had online as well with it, if I recall. So I guess the Switch is also getting the online component too, I hope. I wouldn't see them taking it out. Yes. So yeah, it's getting everything else.
And I just looked it up. Yeah, I just looked it up quick. Apparently it's going to be a wing set designed after Majora's Mask.
Okay, yeah, I remember hearing
that
now.
That's what that's about.
Gotcha. Awesome. Cool. All right, guys, moving along here. We got Jessica on Facebook, and we got Simon, Golden, Anita, Elias. Hello. This is a podcast, Elias. You can actually read the title to figure out what we're doing. It's pretty simple concept. Moving along here in the news, we have Road Redemption. When I first saw this, it reminded me of Road Rash. Do you remember Road Rash, Samantha, at all? Back on like the Genesis, or I guess PC as well, the old consoles.
No, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with it.
Basically, it was like a motorcycle racing game. You're in a gang, and you get different weapons, and you bash the other gangs and teams as you're driving along. This is pretty much what Road Redemption is, I believe, as well.
Yeah, sounds pretty similar.
Yeah, you're in a biker gang on an epic journey across the country. So yeah, it's driving, combat, road rage, adventure. Big campaign, dozens of weapons, full 4-player co-op split screen. And online it says too, which sounds really neat. So that is Road Redemption then. So that's pretty cool. And then that's coming to the consoles and the Switch this fall. All right, so a game we've talked about a couple times on the podcast, and it's been out for a while. Now we're getting a special edition, I think, too, for the Switch. And what is this, Samantha?
Yes, so this is Gianna Sisters, let me get the full name. Twisted Dreams Ultimate Edition.
Yeah. Play on words there, obviously.
Yes, so this includes the original game and then all of its downloadable content as well. Okay, so that's where the owl part comes from, I believe. But then it's also coming with some new levels and some new story scenes and some new music. So it sounds like this is going to be a pretty complete version. I don't think this was on the Switch before. This came out on consoles before, and it came to the Wii U. But I believe this is the first time it's getting a Switch release.
You're right. Awesome. So that's kind of cool, getting the Ultimate Edition, then this Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams. And I recall the original game for Gianna Sisters, I think the story was like they had a game on the eShop or something, and I think it was taken down because it was a Mario clone at one time. Like it was like way back when it was just a regular, one of their first games, I think, from this company, for Gianna Sisters.
But, right, I feel like I saw something about that recently. I can't remember where.
Yeah. But the gameplay looks pretty cool too. So the developers here really took and did a lot to this game to make it unique. All right, moving along in our news bites, guys. We got Songbird Symphony announced for the Switch and PC. I'm sorry, a Switch, PS4 and PC for spring of 2019. And by the sound of it, this is a rhythm game.
I don't think so, actually. I think it is just a platformer. I guess, okay, it looks like there is some sort of music element. You'll have to do some sort of music. It's a sing in time with the music to add platforms.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see how they go with that.
Yeah, so they call it a 2D musical adventure game. So a pretty interesting genre there. So it's a game depicting the tale of a young bird named Burp, or Burb, B-I-R-B, as he leaves the safety of his nest to confront the outside world and discover his true identity. That sounds pretty interesting. So that's Songbird Symphony, again coming to the Switch.
Looks pretty cute too.
Yeah, it does. Pretty cool little retro style graphics there. All right. I think this next one's actually a rhythm game. This is old school musical. This has been announced for the Switch and PC, and the date is for September 13th, so less than a month away. Goes for $12.99. And tell us more details about Old School Musical.
Yeah, so this one is a rhythm game, like you said. So this one, I believe it's sort of got a retro theme to it.
Yeah, it says 50 amazing chiptune tracks as well, which is really cool.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it takes you on a tour of your favorite retro games. That sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's 32 different chicken types to fight. Okay. That sounds really cool.
Looks like they come with a bunch of different modes, too. There's a story mode, an arcade mode, challenge mode, multiplayer as well, local multiplayer. Okay,
so pretty much a lot of different content mixed into this bag for a game, Old School Musical. Again, that comes out September 13th, so less than a month away, again for $12.99. All right, we got a sequel upon us here, and this is for the racing game that came to the Switch, I guess, early when the Switch was released. I think like maybe spring or something of last year, I think it came out. It was Gear Club, but we have Gear Club Unlimited 2 now, also coming to the Switch. And Gear Club was a port, I guess, from mobile. And it was actually a pretty good port of the game. So if you're interested in kind of arcadey type racers, Gear Club is great, and the sequel should be just as good. Are they adding anything special to the sequel here, Samantha?
Well, I'm not particularly familiar with the first one, but I believe this one is going to be a Switch exclusive.
Oh, nice. So it must have sold pretty well then.
Yeah, so they said there's going to be 250 races, 50 licensed cars, and so that it looks like they're going to maybe address some of the concerns of the original and like improve the formula, so that's good to know. Yeah,
the original game was pretty fun just to unlock a whole bunch of stuff as you keep racing, you unlock different kinds of things, and every time you race you're unlocking something in the game, so it was like you're progressing through the game a little bit. So alright, looking forward to Gear Club Unlimited 2. We need more racers here on the Switch. Alright, then we have another game here called Mosaic coming to Mosaic, all major platforms in 2019. And what is Mosaic besides an art style?
So this is a 3D adventure game that will have 2D puzzle elements. They haven't said too much about it yet, but what caught my attention is that this is from Krillbyte Studio, who developed the horror game Among the Sleep.
Oh, wow. Very cool. But this is not going to be a horror game, right?
I don't think so, although the trailer was kind of dark in tone. So I don't know if it's going to actually be horror. They didn't say that, so it's at least not going to be survival horror like that was.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Mosaic. Very cool. All right, we got some release dates to talk about, and these go from this month, actually just yesterday, all the way through spring and winter. We've got some delays to talk about too, which is not really good, but we'll get to those in a little bit here. Let's kick things off with August 16th. And of course, that's the title of the podcast here. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. The demo is now available for the Switch. So go to the eShop, guys, and go download it and play. I probably won't actually do the demo. I'll just get the game out right here. I don't really have time to play the demo at the moment. But looking forward to that. And it's thundering here. If you hear thunder, guys, it's storming right now. So hopefully we'll stay online with you. Shouldn't be too bad.
We had storms earlier. Hopefully
Did you really?
Come back.
Yeah, it seems to be very localized. I heard thunder like an hour ago, and I just heard it again for the second time. So they aren't too organized, I don't think, but we'll see. All right, so August 23rd brings us what release date, Samantha, for what game?
Yeah, so this is Fall of Light Darkest Edition, which I don't remember if we talked about previously when it was announced for the Switch or not.
I don't recall.
So in case we didn't, this is a story-driven action RPG.
Excellent. All right. All right, so we talked about the Messenger, I think, beforehand, didn't we? A few podcasts back, maybe?
I think so. I think this was announced during one of the Nindies presentations, maybe?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I do recall that. So we have August 30th, the Messenger releases. There's also a new trailer available for this game, so check that out. It's linked on our website, NintendoChitChat.com. And this, of course, is the upcoming retro action platformer developed by the Quebec-based video game studio Sabotage and publisher Devolver Digital. All right, guys, so that is the Messenger. Not Facebook Messenger, it's the game, the Messenger. Something actually worthwhile. September 21st brings us the European launch of Little Dragons Cafe. So if you're in Europe, that is the date for Little Dragons Cafe, September 21st, just about
I don't know why it's a whole month apart.
I don't,
because it's coming out in North America next week.
Yeah, it's really confusing, some of these things. I don't know how or why they do some of these things.
Yes, and there have been a couple like that lately, weren't there? Whereas the European launch was delayed, even though the others were fine. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, a whole bunch of oddities with release dates and delays and certain areas getting things. Even though the Switch is region-free, it's still a weird release schedule for all of these games, usually, for some reason. Unknown forces. But let's talk more about Undertale. September is the window for the Collector's Edition. No specific date for that, right?
Well, that's for both. The window for the game as well as there's also going to be a collector's edition. Yes.
Awesome.
So because I think last week or maybe the week before we discussed that its specific date in September was given for the Japanese release, and they said details about other regions coming soon. So now they've confirmed it will be September for all regions. They just don't have the specific date yet.
Awesome. All right, so that's Undertale. And of course, Dank should be happy. I'm sure he's been happy about this for a while since he knew about the announcement for this. Finally, Dark Souls has a release date for the remastered version for the Switch and the Amiibo as well. And that's coming October 19th, so about 2 months away. And it'll be a pretty good fall title, actually. I think it fits in with Halloween almost. So a good title for that time of the year, I believe. And pretty hyped for this. Very cool. Now some delays to talk about. And we mentioned this game a podcast or two ago. This is for Redeemer, the Enhanced Edition. This is delayed till the fall. There's a new trailer available for it as well, so you can check that out. And Redeemer is this top-down action game, I believe, right, Samantha?
Yes, and it was originally supposed to come out this month. And I guess they couldn't do that, so they've delayed it to no specific month even now, just fall.
Yeah, just fall.
Hopefully it won't be too far off.
Sometimes I think they kind of plan their dates or change them around other games to kind of positioning themselves, because the Switch eShop is literally battered every week with releases. So, but if they delay till fall, they'll have somebody else kind of taking up the same date or whatever with a new announcement or something. So who knows? But so that's Redeemer Enhanced Edition. All right, early 2019 brings us Necro Barista. Is this regarding a person who works at a coffee shop? What is this game about?
Yes, well, this is sort of like a visual novel, although I get the impression it's going to be more cinematic. So picture that sort of narrative-driven focus, but more cinematic than the usual visual novel with the still screens and just the text. And so the idea here is that it is set in a magical cafe where the dead have one last night to mingle with the living. So hence the Necro in the title. So it sounds like it could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool title, Necro Barista. Awesome. And then winter 2019, a delay here. So winter 2019 now for Nine Monkeys of Sholoin. We talked about this game, I think, last week or the week before. There's a trailer available for this game as well, a new one. So go check that out as well. And again, this game is a true rebirth of the iconic beat-em-up genre in the vein of old-school video games. So that's Nine Monkeys of Shaolin.
So they haven't been specific yet when they say winter 2019. Does that mean like January, February 2019, or does that mean December 2019? So since it was supposed to come out this year, I put it before the spring one because kind of hoping that they mean.
You would think they mean the first quarter. Yeah.
Yes.
But you're right, though. That could mean like November, December of 2019 as well. So they should maybe clarify that for first quarter or something like that. I don't know. But that is weird. But good catch on that one. We got JKW in YouTube chat. Good to see you guys. Hey, Rabbit as well. Welcome. Simon, good to see you guys. Thanks for the likes and hearts on Facebook. We'll be going and zooming into YouTube comments here in a second, guys. So make sure you're chatting away at some of these games. Let me know if you're interested in any of them. All right, so spring of 2019 here brings us a delay of Super Neptunia RPG for the West. And this was originally for when, Samantha, you remember?
I'm not sure if they said specifically or if they just said 2018, but it's coming out in Japan in September, and then I think the Western release was supposed to follow later this year, but that's been delayed.
Okay.
I don't think it ever had a date.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right about that. I don't recall having a date for that. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. YouTube and Facebook here. Are you guys getting Dark Souls Remastered? I'll pop up chat here, zoom it in. Let me know about Dark Souls Remastered. I'll be getting it. The Amiibo I didn't pre-order, and I haven't really been looking if they actually put it back in stock since it was initially announced, so I didn't bother to check it out, but I'm sure it'll be available from GameStop or something if they do the exclusive thing for only a certain amount of time. Hopefully I can pick it up at some point, but let's see here. All right, JKW says, maybe Dark Souls. Rabbit says, get to the chopper. And Rabbit saying Dark Souls as well. Very cool. Fernando says, maybe. Cool. And Rabbit mentions earlier about the other games. This is Laggy. Are you getting any of these games? He says Dark Souls, probably. So that's cool. And Fernando, his brother has Dark Souls on the Xbox 360. Very cool. All right, out of Zoom chat there. Let's go to trailers and details here, guys, for the news bites for this week of the podcast, episode 31. All right, and we start off with Banner of the Maid with a new trailer. And if you want to tell our viewers, what is Banner of the Maid, Samantha?
Yeah, so we talked about this briefly back when it was first announced. This is
very briefly.
Yes.
I don't recall it at all.
A tactical RPG. If it did stand out to you, it's probably because the main character is Pauline Bonaparte, who was visiting her brother Napoleon. So if you did remember it, that's probably the part that stood out to you, Napoleon's sister as the main character. So yeah, so this looks like it could be interesting.
Yeah.
So there's just a new trailer they're showing, because I don't remember if there was a trailer for it before. If it was, it didn't show too much. So now we get to see a little bit more of the game and some of the gameplay. I believe this one, is this the one that's from a Chinese developer?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't read the graphic here, but it looks like Sun Kum. I'm not sure if that's a K there. It's very low, little small text. Yeah, I think it is though.
Yeah,
and CE Asia as well in the top left corner, so it could be another developer there too. All right, so cool. Banner of the Maid. Now we have the first trailer up for Surgeon Simulator, CPR, and this is the game you play as a surgeon, and you can throw answering machines into the person's body, apparently. What the heck is that? What is that, an answering machine he's throwing to the guy's liver?
It's a pretty screwy trailer if you haven't watched it yet. It's a weird trailer.
Just the game is like so like kind of weird and fun just to kind of play. I've played these games before, so I'm looking forward to playing it on the Switch, especially with the, I guess, motion control, stuff like that, of course, mixed in with the Joy-Cons. It's kind of weird, that picture. All right, moving along, guys. We have Warriors Orochi 4. It has a new God-focused trailer. There's also going to be some extra bonuses, too, for both physical and digital. Any word on what the bonuses are going to be for pre-ordering this, Samantha?
Yeah, so if you pre-order the physical version, you're going to get alternate costumes for, looks like, lots of characters. Maybe 10 of the characters you'll get alternate costumes for. If you pre-order the digital version, you'll get all of those costumes, as well as a unicorn and Pegasus.
Oh, cool. So that's Warriors Orochi 4. Some good little pre-order bonuses there for both physical and digital, which is nice to see. Take care, Golden. Thanks for hanging out in the podcast. Golden has to get a bigger memory card for his Switch. He uninstalled Paladins, and he couldn't play with last night. What it is to have a Switch with no memory card inside. I need to get a bigger one myself. I have 128 gig, and I have to keep archiving games. It's kind of an annoying process, but I need to get like a terabyte or something in there. Anyway, guys, we got some more characters being added to the roster here for Team Sonic Racing. Samantha, and who are these characters being added to the roster?
Yeah, so they've announced that Vector the Crocodile, Blaze the Cat, and Silver the Hedgehog are joining the game. They will be Team Vector.
Very cool. So this game's shaping up to be a pretty nice looking racing game with team-based aspect, of course, and a nice little roster too of characters. All right, moving along to updates and DLC. Just a few things to talk about here. And let's go back to a very popular game again, Hollow Knight here, the DLC. And this, of course, is called the Gods and Glory DLC for Hollow Knight. It's
Well,
been
not anymore.
renamed, yeah. Renamed to now what?
Yeah, so they've renamed it to Godmaster and also announced it'll be coming out on August 23rd. And if you're wondering why they've renamed it, it's because there's a mobile game called Gods and Glory.
Oh.
And so as they mentioned in their announcement something about like the new name Godmaster won't risk offending any very powerful mobile game developer. So it's kind of an amusing way that they wrote it in the announcement. But yes, to avoid any conflicts with that game, they've renamed it from Gods and Glory to Godmaster.
Godmaster sounds pretty good too. Yeah, I'm sure that happens a lot with companies behind the scenes here, especially in the mobile arena now. There's so many games out there and different titles, and so many sound alike. So it's probably a good idea to actually change it to Godmaster. So that makes sense. Yeah. Very cool. So that'll be actually out in 6 days too, guys, the DLC for Hollow Knight. So if you have that game, get the DLC for it. All right, so more Xenoblade Chronicles 2 here. We have some more clarification, I guess, regarding Torn of the Golden Country. And tell us more, Samantha.
Yeah, so there's been so much confusion about how the standalone version of this is going to work. Yeah. And one thing that people had been concerned about was that, okay, so you get it in the season pass if you have, or the expansion pass if you have the game. But then there's the standalone version, which is this retail copy. So people were wondering, like, if I want the digital version and I don't have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, can I still get it? And so the website has now made that abundantly clear that, yes, the retail or the standalone version, there will be a retail copy and a digital copy. So if you're starting with Torna and haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you can get that digitally and physically. And we assume that the physical copy has its own cart.
Right. We're still not quite sure about that yet, 100%, right?
but they mentioned again that both the physical and digital standalone versions will include a code for the rest of the expansion pass content that you need Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to play. So it would seem odd to me if they were shipping a box with 2 download codes in it and would only like mention one in the description. So I think it's probably a cartridge if you're getting the physical one.
Yeah, I really hope it is, and I think you're right about that. It's a good way to look at it. All right, so some more Dragon Ball Fighter Z. We got a DLC character, Cooler. This will be released in late September for $4.99. So there's a character, Cooler. That's a picture of him right there for Dragon Ball Fighter Z. All right, and then some big news for the 3DS here regarding Etrian Odyssey Cross or X or whatever that is. It's been confirmed for a Western release on February 5th. So 3DS getting this on February 5th. And new title as well. For this release.
In the West it will be called Etrian Odyssey Nexus. So no more confusion about the X and the cross. We don't have to worry about that. It's Nexus now.
So is Etrian Odyssey, is this for the Nexus phones, for Android phones? I'm just joking.
Cut out there. I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, I was just making a joke about regarding the Nexus title. Is it also a phone game? Etrian Odyssey for the phones. Anyway, that's kind of a lame joke, but they should change the game title too because of the Nexus and phones. Anyway, we have the Time Portal, a review to talk about, your questions, guys, from this week, and of course, who will be in the player spotlight. We'll take a break here with Samantha and be right back, guys, in about a minute. So hang tight. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard. We'll be right back after the short break. Grab the audio version of the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or Player FM. Visit our website at NintendoChitChat.com and catch up on everything Nintendo. You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard.
All right, everyone. We are back with the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast, episode 31, Monster Hunter Ultimate or Generations Ultimate Generations. The demo's out now in the Switch eShop. Again, it releases August 28th, so about 10 days or so away. We'll be getting the game. So if you're getting it as well, let me know in Discord. We can join up and fight some monsters online together on the Switch. It'll be a lot of fun, finally, to have this game on the Switch for us in North America. We had some blinking of the power here very quickly. Didn't actually go out, but it blinked twice, yeah. But I think we're still live, so I think we should be good. So welcome to everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook Gaming. I'm Eddy Ray from NintendoChitChat.com. We got Samantha Lienhard with us as well, our writer and editor. And I don't have any images prepared for this, but let's talk about it. Samantha did review for us a game which we gave away, Tetris Escape. Also did some gameplay video of this last week, and also gave away the toy and a game code to Anita, who won in our contest last week. So congratulations again to Anita. We'll be getting your toy shipped to you, I think, in the next few weeks, I've been told. So as soon as we get that confirmation, I will pass it along to you. So Samantha, first off, tell our viewers here, if they don't know, what
transform into tetrominoes, which are more commonly known as Tetris blocks. So your basic goal is to transform them into these Tetris blocks to get one of your Tetras all the way to the end to the portal.
Excellent. So it's kind of like a platforming puzzle game, and if you've liked Tetris years ago, this is kind of a different kind of version of Tetris in a sense. We're platforming here, but what do you think overall of the game as far as gameplay goes?
I thought it had some good ideas. There were some pretty clever puzzles. One thing I like is that there's usually multiple ways to solve the basic puzzle, because there are also 3 stars and a trophy that you can collect optionally, although you do need a certain number of trophies to unlock the final world. So there are ways where the easiest solution, you could just get straight to the portal without collecting the stars, and then if you wanted to get the stars, then you'll need to think about it, and it'll be a little trickier to get it. The one thing that really kind of frustrated me is that there's no undo button.
Yeah,
I understand maybe you don't want to be able to undo everything, because then you could just keep trying things over and over again.
Yeah.
But I think just to be able to undo your last action would be helpful, because there were times
you just have to restart,
when I would have I'd have everything set up, and then walk in the wrong direction and fall off a ledge. You're like, oh, gotta start the entire puzzle over.
Yeah.
So I would have liked an undo button.
Yeah, I agree. I did the same thing numerous times playing this game as well. So there's a little bit of a frustration kind of that's forced upon you in the game, I guess, without having the undo action. You have to go right back to restart basically and start from scratch from that level. So, but the game is broken up into 8 worlds, right?
Yes, and one thing that I felt a little odd with the pacing is that every world introduces some new gameplay mechanics, which I mentioned in the review is nice in a way, because it sort of keeps the gameplay feeling fresh, because in each world there's some new things that you can do. But at the same time, it made the pacing odd, because you'd be in world 7, and so you've been playing it through all these worlds, and you start out with a couple of very simple tutorial puzzles, and then then it gets more difficult after that. But just felt like the pacing was constantly being reset to that sort of tutorial level, because introducing new mechanics. And I also felt like the mechanics didn't necessarily all come together at the end. There were some that you only saw in their worlds, and then after that those were abandoned and moved on to other things. But it did keep it fresh, at least, and there were some good puzzles.
Right. And I think for the price point, I forget what the price is right now. Do you recall? It seems like a pretty good little game to have. Remember. I can look it up here really quick. So it's on the Switch eShop now, guys. And how long is it? A few hours, I guess, in length total for the 8 worlds that you played or so?
Yeah, the description says 7 hours. I find that a little hard to believe, because it took me a little over 3 hours, but I didn't get all of the trophies. I don't think it'll double your length if you get all the trophies, but I imagine that will add on some extra time, so this may be 3 to 5 hours or so. Okay,
so that's not bad. Yeah, so a few 3, 4, 5 hour game. It's actually it's on sale right now for $3.99 actually, from $4.99. So it's in the Switch eShop now, guys. So if you like puzzle platformer games with the kind of Tetris kind of look to it as well, with blocks and the puzzling, do check out that. So thanks to the review, Samantha. Go to our website, guys, and check out the review on NintendoChitChat.com. I'm watching like 3 things at once here because we have a warning on my phone now for the weather here. Flash flood warning in the area till 10:45. So apparently we're getting hit with some heavy rain.
Yeah, we've had a lot of those lately.
Yeah, it's been a crazy summer here in Pennsylvania. A lot of flooding in Hershey and Brandywine Creek and everywhere here, like from central to eastern Pennsylvania. But hopefully we'll stay online with you guys for a little bit longer here. Let's go into our questions here for this week. If you guys
don't
want to...
forget about the poll.
Oh, yeah, the poll. That's right. Let's talk about the poll. I forgot. Thanks for reminding me, Samantha. This was our last Facebook poll you did. And what was this poll for? I forget.
Yes, so this poll was not for this week, but the week before that was when I set this one up. And I asked if you would be getting the Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition on the Switch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so... that was the poll from, it just ended this week, it's right. So we have yes or no, it was, and 67% of people, which was a handful, I think, voted for yes, they are getting Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition on the Switch, to 33% saying no via our Facebook poll. And what's the poll going this week?
What's the poll? Did I do a poll this week?
I don't think so. Yes, well, I wasn't quite sure.
I don't think I did a poll this week because with the Facebook polls, I don't understand why you either get, well, you have to have only 2 options. There's no way to do a poll with 3 options.
But
also, if you want to include an image, your option is either no image or 2 images. You can't put a poll with 1 image. That's a little frustrating. We're trying to set them up too. So no, this week I don't think I did a poll. Okay.
We actually, we have this new feature too in the streamer dashboard for Facebook Gaming. I put a poll in right before the podcast went live. Are you getting Monster Hunter Ultimate on the Switch? And we have, so far, people saying yes for that poll. So thanks for voting there, guys. All right, now we can go to our questions here of the week. If you guys want to submit a question for the podcast, it's pretty easy to do. Email us, NintendoChitChat@gmail.com, or hop into our Discord, even easier, and go to hashtag NCC-podcast. Ask your questions now, throughout the entire week. Ask more than one if you can, and we'll pick a few for this week's podcast. So we have 3. Thanks to all of you guys who gave us questions. And let's kick things off here with the first one from Splatty Cowboy Yoshi, member of our NCC Hall of Fame, Player Spotlight, asks, would you rather live in a world of Animal Crossing or Pokemon? So I thought about this, and I came to an answer pretty quickly, Samantha, but what about you?
Well, part of the problem is that I haven't really played a lot of Animal Crossing, but it seems like it's sort of a more peaceful world, I would imagine. Although in the Pokemon world, it seems like most likely if you have some sort of problem, you just let the nearest 12-year-old take care of it. I think Animal Crossing might be the more peaceful, pleasant world to live in.
I think Animal Crossing would be a little bit more mundane, too, because you have a mayor, you have to go fishing, you have to decorate your house. All these little tasks you have to do like regular life. If I want to be like in a fantasy world, I want to go do Pokemon, of course. That would be me too. So what are your choices? We got Simon saying Pokemon, Dank, Pokemon. Fernando says Pokemon as well. I agree.
All right, so no one's going to be keeping me company in the Animal Crossing world.
But good question. Thinking outside the box, Splatty Cowboy. So, but Anita says Animal Crossing, so there you go.
Good. It's not just me.
Rabbit says Pokemon. So cool, very cool, guys. Thanks for answering that. And thanks for asking, Splatty Cowboy. All right, our next question is from Dank. Dank is rocking and rolling with these questions. I think he just writes questions down like in his notebook. He has like a big novel of questions, just, you know, cuts and pastes them into chat or something for us. I don't know. But his questions every week, which is great. So thanks, Dank. Why do people want Nintendo to discontinue the 3DS in favor of the Switch? And I have heard this before in social media and in forums. People kind of trolling sometimes, possibly, or just being obnoxious about this. I don't know. People are just like that sometimes. They want everything for the Switch, and some games aren't really meant for the Switch. And I think the 3DS has a huge base as well still. It's still selling relatively okay for Nintendo. They're making money on it. It's a good price point still. The Switch is not at the price point where it's an impulse buy, especially for younger kids, for their parents getting it for them. So that's why. I think Nintendo is still keeping up with the 3DS, and people just don't like that for some reason. They want everything for themselves on Switch, apparently. They're kind of greedy, I guess. But as we see with like WarioWare Gold, there were some games built that wouldn't really work on the Switch because it was designed for the 3DS in mind. So, but what do you think, Samantha? Why are people like that?
Yeah, well, I think there's probably two large groups that contribute to it. The first one being the people who have bought their Switch, so now they want more games to be coming to it to sort of, I guess, justify their purchase, but also like, look, I bought it so I can play these games. And instead, they see games coming to the console that either they already had and they wouldn't have had to buy the Switch, or the console that they never got, or maybe even traded in. And so therefore, they feel like, well, the Switch is the new one. Everything should be coming to the Switch. I also think there's a group of people who are more concerned about the performance and the graphics. So they think, like, why would you develop a game for the 3DS and its capabilities when you could make a better looking game for the Switch? So I think those two groups probably contribute to it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. That's very good points. And some of these games that are coming out for the 3DS, even like next year, are made by small teams. So I don't think Nintendo's putting a huge amount of, development teams into these upcoming 3DS titles. They're very small teams, I think. So it's not like a lot of resources are going into 3DS instead of the Switch. They're not taking away resources from the Switch for development anyway. So yeah, I think too, people see, well, why isn't WarioWare Gold on the Switch? It should be on the Switch. It's on the 3DS instead, and vice versa sometimes. But just people are like that sometimes in the gaming world, guys. Welcome to Gaming 101, right? People are just I guess, all about themselves. I say the more games the merrier for whatever platform it is. But hopefully, eventually I would hope we do see the Switch come to a lower price point. So the 3DS will be phased out eventually. It has to be. It's 7, 8 years old, or something like that now. So, yeah.
It was 2011.
Yeah, so eventually it'll be phased out. But they're still making money on it. They're still selling. So they have to keep up with it. That's the way business is. And our last question then, thanks Dank, is from Golden. Golden asks, do you think the Darkest Dungeon on the Switch will ever receive mods compatibility? Has there ever been a Switch game that's received capability of using mods in its game? I don't think there has been, that I know of.
Yeah, I don't know. And mods on consoles are pretty rare to start with, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much. Unless maybe Xbox, I think, because Microsoft or something,
Yeah, I can remember like a couple PlayStation 4 and Xbox games that did. I can't remember if it was something that Bethesda did. I can't remember what game it was now where they released their mods on the console. But I think even then there was problems, so I don't think it's common.
Yeah, I don't think it's common. I don't think so, Golden. But you never know. It might be up to the developer to do that. I don't think Nintendo has a policy regarding mods for said games. I don't know of anything on the Switch now that actually has that, so I just don't see anybody doing it. I see it more being like a PC kind of thing. It's a lot easier to do that too with mods. But good question though. So thanks Golden and Dank and Splatty Cowboy, Yoshi for your questions. Make sure you guys submit your questions, email us, go to Discord and ask us right now, and we'll set them up for next podcast hopefully. We really appreciate that. Okay, so it is time, as it's thundering here still. We're still online, luckily. We have our player spotlight. I'm not sure if he's still here. He was in chat earlier. Everyone give a big shout out and congratulations to Tyler, the Kirby and Mario fan. He's been a subscriber of the channel for a long time, since Mario Sports back in March of, I guess, last year, almost 2 years now. He's in a lot of streams. He's in Discord too. He's in the UK. He lives in the UK, so he's not always online. But when he's online, he's usually in chat, in Discord, or in our streams, playing with us. So, congratulations, Tyler. And there he is. Well, Tyler, good timing, because you are now our NCC Player Spotlight. So go tag him in Discord as well, everybody, and say congratulations. We'll be adding you to our NCC Spotlight Discord channel, which is kind of cool, too. And these guys get a special shot at joining us in games earlier than the regular subscribers. So there you go, guys. Show your support, and maybe you, too, can become a Spotlight member of the week, and a Hall of Famer, too. All right, Samantha, what issue are we at for our time portal?
And so we're up to issue 28.
Excellent. And a nice number of games here, from the classics to one I never heard of before either. So let's get right into it here. For the Time Portal, we look back into Nintendo history at events and games, whether it's a year or 20 years ago. And on our list is Rune Factory. I've actually never played this series before at all.
And neither have I.
I think I do have this game, though. I had gotten it really cheap online. I need to make sure I have it. I'm pretty sure I do. But this is Rune Factory coming to North America. This is on the DS, August 14th. And what year was that?
Yeah, so this was 2007, and so this was originally released to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Harvest Moon, and so it came out, the first game came out with the title Rune Factory, A Fantasy Harvest Moon, and so then, of course, it was not only popular, but it launched its own series, although there have only been 4 of them, and we haven't heard much about them since.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a while since I've heard of the franchise even being mentioned.
Well,
so.
It looks like the developer went bankrupt.
Oh,
so
wow.
then I think I read they were working, or they were at least planning a Rune Factory 5, and then they went bankrupt. But then Marvelous acquired them. So since Marvelous has been doing the story of seasons stuff, I believe, you think there's still a chance that it could come back.
Yeah, you would think they would hopefully take what was being developed and try to finish it or something, or update it and make it into a complete game. So we'll see. But again, that's Rune Factory, guys, for August 14th, 2007 from the Nintendo DS. All right, next up is a game that's pretty popular among people who have or had a Wii. And this is The Last Story. It came to North America August 14th of 2012. And explain more about The Last Story for those who don't actually know about it.
Yes, well, this was the third of the Operation Rainfall games. So previously in our Time Portals, we discussed Xenoblade Chronicles and Pandora's Tower, which were the first 2. So this was the third one that people were campaigning for in Operation Rainfall. And so then it finally came to North America. And one of the big things here is that this was developed by Mistwalker, which is the developer that Hironobu Sakaguchi formed after stopping work on Final Fantasy. So this game was popular, but it doesn't seem like they're going to make a sequel. Mistwalker has been doing a lot of mobile games, of course, but they are supposedly working on some sort of console game again. Yeah, who knows, maybe someday.
People have been clamoring for another sequel, a sequel to this game, yeah, for sure. But we'll see. Maybe someday, like you said. My wife just messaged me on Facebook saying the chairs are blowing all over. She got soaked and wet picking the chairs up and putting them into safe, I guess, back in the garage or something. I'm not quite sure where she put them, but thankfully, I guess it's windy out there too. Being in my cave here, I can't tell if it's windy or not. All I hear is lightning, or all I see is lightning, and I hear thunder, and I hear heavy rain too. But we're still online. My words are all being mishmashed. I'm like watching 5 things at once here, but thanks guys for sticking with us here. All right, so August 15th then brings us NES Classic Metroid comes to North America. And how old?
1987. That was quite a while ago. August 15th, 1987.
Wow. I remember playing this at my friend's house. I'm like, this game is awesome. So we got an NES like a few months later. And classic Metroid. All right. And to wrap things up with the Time Portal, this is the game I have not heard about before, but this came to the Wii. This is for August 18th, all the way back to 2009. And what title is this?
Yeah, so this is Spectrobe's Origins. It's August 18th, 2009. This was the third game in the Spectrobe series. The previous ones were DS games, I believe. So this was the first console title in the series coming up for the Wii. And it was also the last game ever released in the series, because we have not heard anything from Spectrobe since then.
Wow. Yeah, never heard this before. I looked it up. I'm like, oh, okay. It looks interesting, actually. But very cool.
The sort of odd thing about this was that this was a Disney thing, and I believe they said that this was their first original IP, so like their first game that wasn't already based on a Disney movie or Disney TV show, and the first one at least was a success, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I do recall when I was getting the image for this, I did see Disney mentioned. I see it right now in the box art too, so yeah, that's really interesting. But awesome job, Samantha, on the time portal. So we got Spectrobe's Metroid, Last Story, and Rune Factory. So thanks for watching, guys. Before we head out, Anita, I think, has been using our new emoji. So if you're a sponsor of ours, you can use our emoji. They're kind of test ones. I'm kind of editing them as we speak. So hope you enjoy them for now. I'll be updating some more the next week or two. But I hope you like the little funny face of me with the heart eyes and the sunglasses and stuff like that. So spam them if you can. Yes, and Christina, responsor, you should. If you subscribe to our channel too, guys, if you're new, we have a new sound effect too. So you probably heard that at some point in our stream with a sound effect for a subscriber, which we don't have any happening right now, so you won't hear it until maybe next podcast or next stream. But anyway, Samantha, what do you want to talk about before we head out? Anything special going on?
Just one last thing, a new rumor that has surfaced. This rumor claims that new Super Mario Bros. U and new Super Luigi U are going to be packaged together and re-released for the Switch.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see if that rumor proves to be true or not.
I could see that happening for the holidays. What do you think, Samantha?
I think so. Of the Wii U games I'd like to see ported, those are way down on the list.
Yeah.
But I can see them doing it. Have a new Mario game out for the holidays, even though it's not really new. But I can see them.
Yeah, I can see them really catering that towards people who are just buying a Switch and getting a Mario game for the kids, you know, rather than being a 3D to get a 2D Mario game. So very cool. So great podcast, Samantha. Thanks for doing all you do for us with the podcast and the articles as well. So make sure you guys check out her work on the website, NintendoChitChat.com. Follow her on Twitter and everywhere else if you can. I'm Eddy Ray, and we'll talk to you then. I think it'll be Thursday, Samantha, so I'll let you know, though, for sure.
All right.
All right, have a good weekend. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm Eddy Ray. I'm going to sign out for now. We may be back with a stream, depending on the weather, so stay tuned to us in Discord, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.
Grab the audio version of the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or Player FM. Visit our website at NintendoChitChat.com and catch up on everything Nintendo.